Right, we're live. Press that. Now we just wait. Anyway, I've come on here to talk about different bits of fishing tackle and upcoming videos. So let's get started. The first bit of tackle I'm going to show you is the most important bit of tackle any fisherman needs. A disgorger. A disgorger is used to unhook the fish if the fish has swallowed the hook too deep down to reach with forceps or just get out by hand. Most fisheries require you to have one or some sort of unhooking tool. Next bit of tackle I'm going to show you is a method mold. A method mold is this bit of plastic here, spongy plastic. It's used for when you feed a fish on the bottom. You put your pellet, ground bait, whatever you want to put in there, and you put your feeder on top, squish it down, and it molds around your feeder, and it gives you a nice even ball of your ground bait or whatever you're using on your feeder. And the next bit I'm going to show this here is some carp safety spray, fish spray, sorry. The reason why I carry fish spray is if the fish is being damaged by where the hook's been, or it's got an infection and needs treating. All you do is take the cap off, a couple of sprays on the fishes where it's cut, and it helps the fish recover. And another bit. And here I have my catapult that I use to dispense bait out further than using my hand, as sometimes some baits need to be chucked out by a catapult or it's too far to throw with your hand. And now I'm going to show you some of it. Here we have one of my favourite reels, a Daiwa RG 1355 Autocast ball bearing. I was given to this when I first started fishing about 2 or 3 years ago, and I've caught loads and loads of fish with it. And it's certainly seen a few battles. And most recently, I trapped myself to this one. This is a AP Camo 60 carp runner for me carp fishing. This type of reel is mostly used for when you go carp fishing. When you're sitting on the bottom, you flick this bit here, which is the bait runner switch. Click that on, and when the fish takes your line, obviously it pulls off the rail and it clicks until you spin your handle there. You should just feel it not moving there, and it clicks off. Then you can play the fish. Another bit of tackle I was going to show you. Let's see if I can find it. There we are. This is a carp control the float. These are mostly used when you're fishing for carp on the surface, or you can use them for trout. I use them for trout, but I personally like to go a little bit lighter. For example, one of these Waggler floats that I've got here, which you can just pop the top off and change it if you wanted to. And you just lock it back into place. And it's a very light float. It's got its own little brass weight. So that means you don't need to add too much shot. And it tells you on the side of the float how much float weight is needed on the float. Right. I think I've lost my shot. It's disappeared. Oh no, that feels weird. Yeah, it'll be somewhere. Anyway, now that's over and done with. I'm going to talk to you about indications when you're fishing on the bottom. When you're fishing on the bottom, you have no float, you just have something like this, for example, a maggot feeder. And a way you could tell if you had a bite, if you had a feeder rod, the tip of your rod would tap like that. Or if you haven't got one of them, you can use something called a bite alarm. A bite alarm is used mainly for carp fishing, but you can use them if you're fishing a big reservoir for trout or pike or whatever fish. All you do is flick that switch. The button there, that's your volume, tone, and sensitivity. So every time I press that, it sets the sensitivity off. Like how low I want it, how high I want it, vice versa. Anyway, upcoming videos. I've got one coming out the 8th of July when I go on holiday. I'll be doing a little bit of filming on holiday. That will be specifically for carp fishing. A little bit about the lake. The lake, yeah, don't really know much about it. All that I know is there's 5 different lakes, and you can fish for carp, tench. I think there's barbel in there, chub, or every coarse fish you can think of, apart from pike. They don't have pike in there. And I might upload one about fly tying, because I do a little bit of that. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to talk you through some tips and tricks I learned when I was starting fishing. The first trick I'm going to tell you is keep trying. Well, not that. Another trick. Always pay attention to what the fish are doing. Most of my fishing is spent either just chucking it straight out and waiting for a bite, which it works, but it doesn't work as good as it should, as watching the fish. Like, for example, I was at Watergate this week, and I was sat there thinking, I'm not going to catch out. And I was just sat watching these carp cruising along about 10, 20, 30 yards out. And I thought, I'm going to have to chuck my rod out there. So I got my rod, reeled it in, chucked it out and just left it there. Didn't get a bite. Didn't get a carp, sorry. I got a bream. And best thing about carp fishing is always watch the fish, what they're feeding on. Wait, not what they're feeding on, like where they are, like in the margins, over by a far corner island, or in the middle of a lake, or right in front of you. There's been times when I've been fishing and I'll think, oh, they're out in the middle, out in the middle. And when I've looked down, there's fish like that on by the bottom. And I'm like, I should be fishing there. The amount of times that I've seen that and not caught is unbelievable. Anyway, as I was saying, we'll do a little bit more of tackle talk in a minute. Just tidying up a bit. Yep. Let's see. Weird. Right. Feeder fishing for carp. There are multiple ways of catching carp. You can fish for them on the surface with dog biscuit or bread or whatever, or you can fish for them on the float. What I used to do when I started out about 2-3 years ago, I used to fish the float and catch ones about that big. Now, my teacher, he does a bit of carp fishing. He said, "Oh, try the bottom." And then I thought, I'm not going to catch. So I thought, oh, I'll try the feeder because I've seen people catch on the feeder. So I chucked myself out on the feeder. And I was sat thinking, I'm not going to catch. Not going to catch. And I was just sat watching my rod tip and it just started going, knocking around. And I was like, sat there trying to eat my sandwich because I sat down for my dinner. And I reeled it in, carp about that big, and that was on ground bait. Now, ground bait you can buy in the bag from your local tackle shop in various sizes. This one, I've got a big bag, so I can use for multiple sessions. Now, this one is the sweet caramel mix, and the way you mix ground bait is you pour it into a large bucket or bowl and add a small amount of water. If you add too much water, it becomes a sloppy bait and doesn't work as well. And then you're supposed to leave it stand for 15 minutes. And you can add any flavour, bits of pella, bit of worm, bit of bread, bit of sweet corn, bit of anything really, as long as you want to allows it. I've seen people go to lakes and put crushed up boilies in the ground bait. And this is another reel I like to use. It's the same model as the one I showed you earlier, but it's the non-bait runner version that I also use for my carp fishing. And yeah, right, what was I doing? Back to the ground bait. This stuff you can pick up from your tackle shop, depending on the size of bag. You can get for about £2-3 from your local tackle shop, or you can go to your local boys if you have a local boys near you, and you can pop in there and get a bag like that for about £4. Get a big bag like this for about £4.75, and that'll last me about 2, 3, 4 sessions, maybe even more than that, because I don't use a lot of ground bait. And fly fishing. I do a bit fly fishing as well, and I started fly fishing last year when a family member of ours decided to teach me, and I was like, yeah, I like it. It's just I wouldn't do it all the time. I like to mix it up, do a bit carp, do a bit coarse, do a bit of this, do a bit of that, or vice versa. I bought a brand new finger shot and I've lost it. Where I put it? Yeah. Anyway, so there'll be a video coming out about Falkers Lake, and I'll be doing another video at Watergate Fishery next time I go, and I might be doing one for Eden Grange, depending when I want to go or not, and I might do one for Grassholm. And for those who are wondering what's Grassholm, I say it's a big massive reservoir set in the Dales in Middleton, in Teesdale, and it's set in the countryside of County Durham. Grassholm Reservoir is a trout fishery where you can fish catch and keep only, so unless you're fly fishing, then you can keep chuck them back. And yeah, I think there's the Grassholm Reservoir is a very big place. A little bit about the fishing though. You can either buy the tickets on the website, which is, I forgot the website, but I'll let you know what it is. And normally for 8 fish, it's £28. For a family permit, that's £48, and that gives you 12 fish to take home. And they've got rainbow trout in there, brown trout, and I think there's blue trout. Well, not too. And you can fly fish, you can bait fish, you can ledger, float, surface fish for them probably. And most people, when they go to reservoirs, like to use this sort of stuff called power bait. Now, power bait is a doughy bait that you can buy from tackle shops, and it's normally a couple of quid for a tin about that big for the door. What you do is you open it up like that, pull a bit dough off, roll it around in your fingers to make a shape, and then rub it onto your hook, which then is sort of like a smell for the fish. I don't understand the full use of power bait. I've rarely used it. I'm not I prefer sweet corn and stuff like that. Not saying I don't want to use maggots and that. I'll use maggots for like my normal fishing, for carp, roach, rudd, stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty chill. Also, right then, right. Just what else could I talk about? And then, so my recent trip to Watergate. Honestly, went pretty well considering it was my first time. Didn't catch many fish. I only ended up with one bream, which is better than not catching at all. Then I ended up with just the bream, and there was a lad further down who had a £11 common carp out, and My opinion on the fishery: nice place, good stock of fish, plenty of fish for you to catch. There's no cafe on site, only a toilet, and you have to book online, and it's like £10 plus the extra £1.20 charge for using the service. I think that I was talking to a lad there, and he said the stock in here is common carp, tench, bream, roach, perch, rudd, mixture of course fish really. Plenty of fish about. He says you can surface fish for them, ledger, whatever you want, as long as you pay for your money and all that, and not poaching. And I'm planning on going as soon as I finish school. So the video will probably be out the same week I finish school, depending on how long it takes to edit and stuff like that. Right, what have I done here? What does this button do? Share and stream. Anyway, it's just a short live today because I'm getting used to going live on YouTube. So feel free to leave comments saying what you liked about the stream, what you want to learn more about carp fishing and stuff like that, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.